Hi and welcome to today's live chapter reading of Faida by Brooke May, courtesy of Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1. Law number 982. Each Cupid is unique in their approach with the path of love. Embrace each of your sisters and accept their differences. This is nonsense. The celebration surrounding me is nothing but a complete waste of time and absolutely unwarranted for Aiko's successful assignment. It isn't like this is the first one she has effectively completed in her existence. OK, I'll give it to her. It's the first one in 40 years that was done without anything earth-shattering from happening. But that's beside the point. We are Cupids. It's our duty to bring love to the mortal realm. All 6 of us has been placed in this realm to assist Cupid in his overwhelming duties to unite humans in the most basic of connections. Yet some can't even do that. That's why we step in. Briella was the first Cupid created, and then the rest of us. Malaika, Serafina, Raffaella, Aiko, and myself. All of us see Briella as our elder and refer to us as mother from time to time. That's why we all came home when she summonsed us. I had just wrapped up an assignment in London when I got the summons and came as quickly as I possibly could. See, we can't just will ourselves to our plane of existence. We must first go invisible before ascending to the heavens, where our home hides away from any mortal technology or wandering eye. And usually when Briella calls upon us, it's something of great importance. Having a party is not something I would have ever constituted as important. She matched up a couple, albeit in her usual insane and abnormal way, that leaves me scratching my head and questioning her tactics time and time again. But she did it. What is upsetting to me is her use of another woman in this scenario. I do not condone cheaters. I should know, I've dealt with plenty in the past. Aiko using another woman to drive home the point to the man she was assisting, to see the one he was meant to be with, is not acceptable. I will never approve of that. Besides, like most relationships Aiko has arranged, they are likely to fail or end tragically. Yours are no different. Scoffing back, I lean in my seat on the couch and do my best to keep my scepticism to myself. I know what you're thinking. You're a Cupid. Doesn't that mean you believe in love? Once upon a time I did. I loved my job. I adored the fact that I could help any 2 people find one another and strengthen their connection to form lasting bonds between them in only a way true love is meant to. But it started to change as time went on. While Aiko dealt with disasters after each of her pairings or attempted matches, I was left to deal with infidelity of mortals. I've helped a man who couldn't be satisfied with one woman, let alone another 3. A woman who betrayed her husband and fell in love with her bodyguard. And it doesn't stop there. It has continued at random times throughout human history. The experiences have left me jaded and numbed when I go to help any other human. I'm so proud of you. Even Serafina, the one who can't seem to stand Aiko even on her best days, is happy for her sister. Faida, is everything all right? Briella floats into my line of sight and gracefully takes one of the seats next to me. No matter what you are feeling, the moment Briella turns her violet gaze on you, you can't help but instantly feel your centre and have a sense of peace wash over you. It's completely unnerving. Why would anything not be all right? I can't control myself. My arms cross in a defensive manner, visually shutting me off from the others. Briella doesn't give up that easily, though. When all the others would call me frigid, Briella won't. It isn't in her nature. Instead, she turns to the others, which includes Cupid himself, with a small smile warming her face. Aren't you happy for Aiko? She had a successful job. Is it necessary that we need to celebrate it? Why not? The curtain of blonde hair that surrounds her fans out as she turns back to me. She went in and finally learned to embrace her unique ways, and it didn't end in disaster. I don't agree with her methods. There's no need to add more than that. All of them know my stance. Truth as it may be, Aiko went about her assignment the best she saw fit, and it worked out in her favour. Until it comes back to bite them in the butt, I mutter, hoping it is best kept to myself. Briella catches everything though. Rarely does she miss anything. Most of the time she won't say anything, but I have a feeling today is different. You have to hope and pray for the best, Faida. Her eyes, usually lit with so much serene joy, are flooded with sadness. For me, I can't be certain. I miss the light you once carried. I know you've had your own brushes with ill-fated relationships, but you can't allow that to leave you cynical to our nature. A file appears out of thin air. Another special task that Briella has that none of us do. It pays being Cupid's right hand. Here is your next assignment. She doesn't hand it to me straight away. I had my own hope for this assignment for you, Faida. This man, Robert Peters, is a single father and CEO of a multi-million-dollar ad company. He has sworn off other women other than his young daughter due to his own past with infidelity from his wife. I think the two of you can learn a great deal from each other. The purple folder slides into my waiting hand. The moment my fingers grip the encased papers, I feel the pull in my chest. It tightens once more. The tether that attaches me to the human I meant to help secures, drawing me to go to him right away. Some of the others get excited with each new tether, but I feel bone weary for the last 100 times this has occurred. As badly as I want to escape right now and get this mission started, I'll wait until Briella is done handing out new assignments to the others before I make my exit. Chapter 2. Law 8266. Some hearts are easier to win than others. This is daunting. The massive high-rise before me reaches into the sky, matching the overwhelming landscape humans have created on the once breathtaking natural environment. The last time I felt this unnerved by a building, I was standing at the gates of the Catherine Palace. At the time, the palace was immeasurable by most human standards. It was glorious and breathtaking. I prefer the architecture of those days. The buildings of today are cold and lack originality. This massive high-rise is no different from others in the city, and so many more around the world. The cold winter hits my back as I look up and up, attempting to see the top of the building, where the penthouse is, and houses Robert Peters and his young daughter Alice. I look like the typical tourist taking in the massive building, and the others surrounding the area. Unlike Aiko and Briella, who don't disguise themselves very well, I do my best to blend in with the human populations. Even though I prefer to wear something a little more elegant, I've settled on a high-waist powder blue knee-length skirt, white blouse and matching blue heels, and a single aquamarine dewdrop pendant around my neck. Let's get this over with. With my head held up high, I march into the building I know is going to take something special to get up there, but the resistance I thought I would encounter isn't there. Oh good, you're here! A frantic-looking woman rushes up to me, panting and looking me over from the tips of my heels to the top of my French braided hair. Where is your dress? I open my mouth to ask what she could possibly be talking about, but I'm not given the chance. Never mind, I'm sure you have it with you. She gestures to my purse and pointlessly carry around to disguise and to aid me from blading in with the mortals. Come on, we need to get up there before they start a riot. Once more, I'm left to wonder what she's referring to, as she drags me over to the glass-encased elevator and quickly ushers me in. Mr. Peters was starting to wonder if he was going to have to make a rather nasty call. She pats her hair as she climbs straight forward while I begin to climb. Alice didn't seem too concerned though, since the cake was being served. To give you some time, I came down to help out. My little Bernie has been waiting for this party for months now. Party? What in good God's name is going on? I could summon my life on Robert, but that would risk freaking out the human before me and see what exactly I'm stepping into at this very moment. I should have waited until the evening to make sure he would be home alone with his daughter tucked in for the night. Do you need us to supply the music, or do you have it with you as well? Robert never said. There is a moment that flashes through my mind that has me looking around for Aiko. This situation, whatever it may be, Feels more like something that would happen to her, not me. Music? Oh God, please tell me your employer told you, she groans, shoulders slumping in defeat. Gliding to a stop that is nearly as light as if I flew up here, there's a ding over her head and then the doors open. Never mind, we'll figure it out. Grabbing me once more, the woman tugs me out and into the foyer. It is pristine with white marble floors, all except one matching wall. That one is nothing but a giant window that looks out at the city stretching below and to the horizon. If I had any fears, heights would get to me. Come on! Pushing open the heavy oak door, the woman leads me into the equally clinical room where a gaggle of women look around anxious. Found her! The woman pulling me sings, putting me on display like a game show prize. Where's her dress? And the music? Her eyes are violet, why aren't they blue? Questions pummel me one after another. They come so quickly even my advanced mind can't keep up with all of them. She has it in her bag. The woman from the loggie grabs hold of my bag to tuck me to another room. When we pass a much larger one filled with little girls in various stages of princess dress, dread pulls in my belly. I'm slightly concerned about my well-being now. Each of them are seated around miniature tables, sipping tea and eating cake like little ladies. I'm impressed. This is not the type of party I would ever have imagined for a child. Wild madness with screaming and running around comes to mind. And when the woman who refuses to clue me into what's going on told me they were ready to riot, I thought of that same madness. Come on, you can change in here. I need to stop this. Ma'am, digging in my heels I stop us. I would like to know what you're talking about. What do you mean? The wide emerald gaze she shoots up at me shows the panic filling her. I would like to know why you dragged me up here without explaining and expect me to change my clothing. Oh my God, you aren't the Princess Robert hired, are you? Daintily I cross my arms. I have no clue what princess business you're referring to. Well, she flounders for words, likely wants to apologise for ripping me from the lobby to come up here. Albeit I was going to make my way up here no matter what. But I won't tolerate this nonsense. I'm so sorry. Her mouth finally forms words. It doesn't lessen my annoyance. I can't believe. Please. She cuts herself off and now pushing me back towards the entrance where all the other mums are waiting on pins and needles. This is Robert Peters' penthouse, correct? Yes. I was on my way up here, but not for the reason you think. Even now, amid the confusion, I'm scanning the room for heartstrings. They are strings that link every human to the others around the world. Friends, spouses, children, parents, and other relationships. There's a heartstring to each person. This woman has quite a few strong glowing heartstrings coming from her, and as we get back to the room with the other women, I see they have numerous strings as well. Could one of them have a link to Robert? This would make my job so much easier if this was the case. Peeking into the room filled with little princesses, I see these girls too have numerous strings. I need to be careful for them not to see me. I would have to answer too many questions if they did. She's not the princess, the mum relays to the others. A resounding groan fills the room as panic sets in. What are we going to do? Where did Robert disappear to? We need to think of something. If I could get whiplash, I'd be feeling it now as each woman starts to ramble around me. It's too much. Just as I'm about to block them out by covering my ears, a booming voice silences all the others. What's going on in here? Each woman, me included, looks up when a strong, powerful man strides into the room. The sleeves of his dress shirt are rolled up to his elbows. His greying hair looks rumpled with stress, and a phone clenched in his fist moments away from being broken in his strong grip. The man is striking, but that isn't what has me spinning. It's the simple fact there is only a single strong heartstring extending from him and going straight into the other room his daughter is in. There are a few others, but they aren't nearly as striking. I knew he had cut himself off to the world, but even the most stone-cold people in this world, past and present, have had several strong heartstrings.